Imagine standing on the rugged frontier of northwestern Anatolia at the dawn of the 14th century. The Byzantine Empire, once the most powerful state in the region, was weakening. Across the frontier, a young Turkish leader named Osman I was preparing for the battles that would change history forever. Osman inherited only a small frontier beylik from his father, Ertugrul. His land was surrounded by stronger enemies, and many believed his state would soon disappear. But Osman had a different vision. He knew that victory would not come from numbers alone. It would come through courage, strategy, and the loyalty of his warriors. Instead of attacking heavily fortified cities, Osman focused on vulnerable Byzantine border forts. These small victories strengthened his reputation and attracted experienced warriors, known as Ghazis, who believed they were fighting for both glory and faith. Every victory increased his influence across Anatolia. Osman carefully studied the terrain before every battle. His horsemen used speed instead of heavy armor, launching surprise attacks before disappearing into the forests and hills. Byzantine commanders struggled to stop an enemy that refused to fight on their terms. As Osman continued winning these early battles, nearby villages and tribes began joining his banner. His army slowly grew stronger, and what had once been a small frontier force started becoming a serious regional power. These first victories were more than military successes. They marked the birth of a new empire, one that would eventually rule across 3 continents for more than 6 centuries. But Osman's greatest challenge was still ahead. The Byzantine governors realized that this rising leader could no longer be ignored, and they began preparing a united response that would test Osman like never before. News of Osman's growing victories spread rapidly across the Byzantine frontier. What had once seemed like a minor frontier tribe was now becoming a serious threat. Byzantine governors, alarmed by his success, decided to put aside their rivalries and unite against him. A coalition of local Byzantine commanders began gathering soldiers from nearby forts and towns. Their plan was simple: crush Osman before his influence spread any further. They believed that one decisive victory would end the Ottoman threat forever. Osman, however, was always one step ahead. His scouts constantly watched enemy movements and brought him valuable information. Instead of rushing into a direct confrontation, he chose the battlefield carefully. Narrow valleys, dense forests, and rocky hills would limit the larger Byzantine army and give his fast cavalry a crucial advantage. When the enemy finally marched toward Ottoman territory, Osman divided his warriors into smaller groups. Hidden among the hills and forests, they waited patiently for the perfect moment to strike. As the Byzantine forces advanced, they found themselves under sudden attacks from multiple directions. Confused and unable to organize their formations, the Byzantine soldiers struggled to respond. Ottoman horsemen charged quickly, fired arrows, and disappeared before the enemy could launch a counterattack. This strategy exhausted the larger army and destroyed its confidence. By the end of the battle, Osman had achieved another remarkable victory. His reputation spread throughout Anatolia, inspiring more Ghazi warriors and Turkish tribes to join his cause. Every new supporter made the Ottoman beylik stronger than ever before, yet Osman knew these victories were only the beginning. Beyond the frontier stood even greater enemies, and the battles that would shape the future of the Ottoman Empire were still to come. After these early victories, Osman I understood that success on the battlefield alone would not secure his future. To build a lasting state, he needed to strengthen his borders, protect his people, and inspire complete loyalty among his followers. New warriors continued arriving from across Anatolia. Many were Ghazis seeking glory on the frontier, while others were Turkish tribes searching for a strong and just leader. Osman welcomed them, rewarding bravery and ensuring that every fighter had a place in his growing army. Instead of destroying every captured settlement, Osman often offered peaceful surrender. Villages that accepted Ottoman rule were protected, and local people were allowed to continue their daily lives. This policy earned him respect and encouraged many communities to support his leadership without resistance. At the same time, the Byzantine Empire faced internal conflicts and political instability. Local governors struggled to defend the frontier, allowing Osman to strengthen his position with each passing year. Every successful campaign expanded his influence and brought more resources to his small but ambitious Beylik. Osman's victories also proved that discipline and strategy could defeat a much larger army. His commanders learned valuable lessons from every battle, making the Ottoman forces more experienced and better organized than before. These achievements transformed Osman from a frontier chieftain into a respected ruler whose name was spreading across Anatolia. The foundations of the Ottoman Empire were now firmly in place, but an even greater challenge was approaching. Soon, Osman would face a battle that historians remember as one of the most important moments in the birth of the Ottoman Empire, a victory that would change the course of history forever. Osman I's early victories were far more than a series of successful battles. They marked the beginning of a new power that would eventually reshape the course of world history. From a small frontier beylik, Osman had created a disciplined force built on courage, strategy, and unwavering determination. His success inspired warriors from across Anatolia to join his cause. Every victory strengthened the Ottoman state, while every defeat suffered by the Byzantine frontier weakened the empire's grip on the region. The balance of power was slowly beginning to change. One of the most significant moments came in 1302, during the Battle of Beyfus. Facing a determined Byzantine army, Osman once again relied on speed, intelligence, and the skill of his cavalry. The Ottoman warriors overwhelmed their opponents, achieving a decisive victory that shocked the Byzantine Empire. The Battle of Beyfus was more than a military triumph. It proved that the Ottomans were no longer just a small frontier tribe, they had become a rising regional power. After this victory, many Turkish warriors and local communities pledged their loyalty to Osman, while Byzantine settlements increasingly feared the growing Ottoman advance. Although Osman I would not live to witness the conquest of Constantinople, his vision, leadership, and determination laid the foundations of an empire that would rule across 3 continents for more than 6 centuries. His first battles were only the beginning of one of history's greatest stories. In the next episode, we will explore the Battle of Beyfus, 1302. The first great Ottoman victory that announced the arrival of a new empire and changed the future of Anatolia forever. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more epic stories from the history of the Ottoman Empire.